pretty sure I fell and hurt myself, but at least I look good doing it. It is February, and if you have been following along with the No Buy 25 challenge, then you also know that we do little mini challenges each month, and February is the month of trying a new pattern. So that's what we're gonna do today. Also, if you have been around here for any length of time, you know that I am not really a big elaborate pattern kind of girl. So this is gonna probably seem kind of simple, and I don't care because I am excited about what we're gonna use it for. Today, we are going to try the Cory Jacket from Mood Fabrics. We have to put it together first, so we got some work to do. Now, the reason why I picked the Cory Jacket is because I have been looking for a raglan sleeve something to try, because in watching some older episodes of Project Runway, one of the contestants did a fancy varsity jacket kind of idea, which I completely fell in love with, and I want to try it. I want to make myself a fancy varsity jacket. So let's put this pattern together, and then we will talk about kind of what the ultimate idea is going to be and how we're going to get there. The entire pattern cut out. I have the jacket back, I have the jacket front, I have the back neck facing, the front of the jacket facing, and the sleeve parts. I have never done a two-piece sleeve before, so this is going to be kind of interesting to see how this goes. I also cut out the size 40 because the final garment measurements are going to be pretty oversized on me, and I do want this to be oversized. I think I need to make a mock-up though, because this is more of a rain jacket, kind of longer length. It looks like it maybe goes almost down to the hips, and I might want it a little bit shorter, and I want to see about these arms because the arms look freakishly long. But I have never done a raglan sleeve either, so I don't know. So I guess first things first is I'm going to find a fabric to do a mock-up with, and then get it cut out, probably sew it together fairly quickly, and see how that goes. The last piece to this is I did not cut out the hood or the pocket patterns for this, mainly because I have plenty of pocket pieces that I can use, and I like my hoods better. You can do it if you want to. That's cool. Let's do a mock-up. I decided to go with this big stack of just gray wool. That way, if the mock-up actually fits the way I think it's going to, or hoping to, then it can be a jacket in and of itself. There are some moth holes and things in here, so I need to try to cut around those or figure out a way to mend them. We'll try this. And the reason why I want to go with such a sturdy fabric with this, I have both a really nice navy wool and a really nice burnt orange wool that I'm thinking is going to be either the body or the sleeves of my actual bomber style jacket. I want to match kind of the weight of the fabric I want to use with my mock-up fabric, if that makes any sense whatsoever. We'll get this cut out. I think I've got enough. Sew it together and see how it fits. This is not going to be a complete garment, but it's going to be the start to a complete garment. So let's get it cut out. All right, I have all my pieces cut out, and now I need to figure out how to put this together. So I'm gonna look at Mood's website and go over their instructions pretty quickly. Most of the time I would just wing it because I feel like I have put sleeves on jackets before. But because this is a raglan sleeve, I want to make sure that I have kind of the right idea. I did find a hole at the back of the back panel, so I'm gonna have to figure out a creative way to hide that, and I haven't checked the rest of them. I'm sure there's holes in other places, but whatever, it is what it is. So let's take a look at the website, see what the directions say, and start putting this guy together. Looking at the instructions, first of all, I don't think I'm ever going to be quite as cool as this guy. That's okay. But it looks like I put the body together first at the side seams. So I put the front to the back, I put the sleeves together at the side seam. Some of it is not super making sense, so I'll start with the bodies, put the body panels together, and then I'll put the sleeves together. And then I think what you're supposed to do is, like, I'm trying to make sense of this picture. The blue and the white are the sleeves, and the pink is the body. I think it'll come to me, though. So we'll put that together, see what happens. I don't think I need to serge this because I think it's felted wool. I think it was a blanket, honestly. And nothing seems to be fraying at all. So I'm going to sew it together and see what happens. It'd be great. So I've pinned the sleeves to the body of the jacket, and it's kind of like this. So unlike regular sleeves where, you know, you sew them into a tube and then you attach the tube to the body of the garment, these actually lay flat and then you sew them up this way and then you join them together at the shoulders. What I'm not understanding is I'm pretty sure that for the top seam that goes this way, the instructions are telling me to sew it with wrong sides together. And I'm not sure why. So I'm gonna sew it with right sides together because that's the way it seems like it should be, and we'll just see what happens. So I will get these all sewn in, I'll do the top of the shoulders, and then we can try it on and see how it fits. It's going pretty quick, which is really nice. The longest part so far has been cutting out the stupid pattern, which I hate doing. I figured out why they were asking to sew this wrong sides together first and then right sides together. It's because every seam is supposed to be finished with a French seam. I haven't been doing that and I'm not going to change anything, but maybe for the final product I will. But that at least makes sense. So I'm going to just regular sew the top of the sleeve and then we can try it on. Probably why you should read the directions first and completely before you get going. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it really makes any difference ultimately. I don't think it's gonna fall apart, so whatever. Whatever. All right. It doesn't have a collar on it. That's fine. But it does have sleeves. And it's all pressed. I even ironed all of my seams. Go me. My raglan sleeve. Let's try it on. See what it looks like. It is certainly big, and that's okay. And of course the sleeves are way too long. But let's move out a little bit so you can get the bigger picture. Okay. Don't fall, because you are precariously placed. Hold on. Move you carefully this way. Please don't fall. I knew it was going to be too big. That's fine. And it is certainly long. I think the sleeves really make it difficult to see if I like the fit or not. And typically I like my clothes to have more fitted shoulders, so this is a little more relaxed than I typically like. But see, if I fix the sleeve, it definitely feels a little bit better. But I think it could be pretty cute as a blue body and light sleeves varsity jacket style. I think I like it enough to move on to the real thing. Unless this should be the real thing. No, this one's not exciting enough. If it's good enough, let's talk about the real thing. So I have this nice navy wool. It might even be a wool blend. Pretty nice, suiting weight wool. And I was thinking about making this the body and pairing it with this canvas that has fleece on the inside. What it means is that the sleeves are going to be a little heavier than the body, so I need to do a lining, and I may just flatline it. It all gets sewn down as one piece rather than trying to turn everything inside out. I also need to shorten the body. It was a little too long, just like I thought. It came down to about my hips. So I want to shorten it probably 3 or 4 inches when I cut it out of the blue so that it hits more like a bomber style jacket. Hopefully I've got enough for sleeves for this. We'll do sleeves, the body, facings, and get it sewn together. All of my pieces cut out. I have my body exterior flat lined with its fun little lining. Take a look at that. They're like ducks, butterflies and stuff. So that should be kind of fun. I am going to serge the edges of all of these and then sew it together so that I don't get any fraying and I can still like iron everything down flat if I need to / want to. Because you already saw this with the mock-up, I'll see you when I'm done with that part. I have a jacket that is almost completely put together. Now comes the fun parts. Also the parts that take forever, and that's the finishing stuff. Kind of one of the hallmarks of varsity jackets are the striped banding here and on the sleeve and around the waist. So I actually have some striped elastic banding. It's black and white rather than blue and white, but I don't think anybody will care. I'm going to kind of finagle it into the collar here and see if I can get that set in a way that makes sense. The top of it doesn't need to be like super stretchy like the cuffs do, so I can just kind of place it. I'll fiddle around with that and show you kind of what I came up with, and then we will move on to the sleeves. Here's the collar. It's not super successful, so I think what I'm gonna do is seam rip about here in this blue part so that when it gets to here, there's a more dramatic like whoop. I also have the facing for this that I'm gonna add on, but I'm kind of tired and I've gotten a lot done today. Like I've done a whole lot. So I think I'm going to just take it inside and work on it while we're watching the Super Bowl tonight, and I will be back later. See you then. It's snowing! Like the beautiful kind of snow, not the like, scary kind of snow. The joy of snow days absolutely has to be just deeply ingrained as someone who grew up in Northeast Pennsylvania and always got a lot of snow and not necessarily a lot of snow days. I do love me a good big snow. So today is going to be a joyful day of enjoying the snow and finishing up this jacket, which I am really, really excited about. So let me show you what I got done. I got the collar attached to the body of the jacket, and I'm really kind of excited about this. I think it looks pretty good. What I had to figure out was how does it terminate? Looking at some reference photos, it just kind of slides in. So, ta-da! I also got the neck facing hand tacked in. I sewed all this down by hand. I think what I need to do now is get it ironed, and then I will probably machine sew it down all the way around. I may even put some interfacing on the inside here so that it gives it a little bit more structure. It is starting to look like a varsity jacket, and I am really, really excited. And I'm hoping I get it done today because I want to go outside and take photos of it in the schneer. Here we are. So far, I think it looks pretty cool, and the lining just makes me happy. The front facing here is where I am going to try to put some interfacing, and then I'll tack it down and put some snaps in. Once I have that done, I need to put the elastic in the sleeves and along the bottom, and I think that's it. And then depending on the time, depending on what we look like outside and all that jazz, I may even come up with some patches for it to give it that true varsity jacket feel. We're going to grab my iron and we are going to press everything down, get it sewn down. I will show you how I put the cuffs in and then we'll wrap it up. I'm saying this like it's gonna take no time at all. It's going to take me probably all day to do this, but that's okay. It's pretty cool. While I'm waiting for my iron to warm up, I know that this pattern is not overly complicated, and actually I think I'm making it more complicated than it is, but what you should know about me is that I overcomplicate lots of things. I am an equal opportunity overcomplicator. It is okay to use easy patterns and make them look more complicated. This Cory Jacket pattern from Mood, they originally had it as a raincoat, but I just think it looks better as a varsity jacket. So if your brain works like mine, something to consider is whenever you see something out there that you're like, I would love to make that, start thinking about how you can break it down into its individual pieces. For example, a lot of varsity jackets are a color on the body and then a contrasting color on the sleeve. And then you can pick whether you want raglan sleeves or if you want regular sleeves. But what I have found is that generally speaking, a lot of garments are not that difficult to make when you break them down into smaller pieces. There are, of course, exceptions to all of that. Dresses, gowns, things with a lot of seams are a lot more complicated, but things that we wear every day, t-shirts, pants, jackets, they're all kind of the same thing over and over again with different flair. You know, if you think about it, a jacket is really just a t-shirt that's been cut up the center and given long sleeves. And then you put either a zipper on it or buttons. Shorts are just pants that you cut the legs off of. Sweatpants are just trousers with elastic waist. I feel like sometimes we try to overcomplicate sewing, or my brain tries to undercomplicate it just to make it seem easier. That's opposite of what I said before, but you know what I'm trying to say. When it comes to the neck, I think I'm going to hand tack all of this down because I don't trust myself to send it through my machine. There are so many seams. So I've got 1, 2, 3, there's like 6 seams for it to go through. I don't know if my machine is feeling up to that right now. She also likes a snow day. I may try it because I'm lazy, but I think the best thing would be for me to hand sew that down. Let's talk about the sleeve. I'm going to use the same thing here, put it around my wrist so that I know kind of what the fit is going to be. I want it to be loose, but I don't want it to fall off my hand. Something maybe like that. I'm going to cut 2 of those, sew them into a circle, and then we are going to pin them onto the cuffs and turn these into fancy sleeves. Now that I've cut both of them, let's make sure that the fit is what I want it to be. So I pinned it and I test it. Nice. So we'll do this with both of them and sew them onto the sleeve. So what we do is we quarter them. You fold it in half to get this quarter and mark it with a pin, and then you match those together and you mark the other 2 sides, and that's how you quarter your circles. And then what I'll do is I will quarter the sleeve, stretch this guy to fit the sleeve. Does that make any sense? It might. I'll show you. It needs to be right sides together. So I need to do this side connects with this seam, and then my pins all connect here. I think I need to turn this inside out. Connect this one here. And then this pin is going to connect with this seam. This pin connects with this one. This pin connects with this one. And the idea is that when you sew it, you stretch it and it covers all that. And then when you're done sewing, it goes right back together. So I'm going to pin this, pin the other one, and then we will sew it down. Well, that was a pain in the ass. If you're gonna do this yourself, put on a heavy duty needle because those regular needles, snap. Like I probably am going to. But I have cuffs. So let's see what this looks like. I am going to have to like tack down the inside so that it covers up this. So I'm gonna flip it down and, I don't know, put a stitch right there. Somehow, I don't know how yet. Ta-da! Neat! I'm gonna try it on and see how the sleeves fall, but I'm not gonna show you because that'll be the end. So I guess next thing will be the bottom. And the bottom is basically the same thing. I'm just gonna take my elastic, figure out how much I need for my waist, pin it on, sew it on, and then I think snaps will be the last thing. This is pretty awesome, but I did not add pockets. And here's what I'm thinking. Patch pockets, but make them the patches that typically go on a varsity jacket. The problem is I don't know what I want to add to this. Like, I don't know what kind of patches I want to put on it. So I'm stuck there. But if I can come up with 2 things, then maybe those become the like patch pockets. And I think that might be kind of cool. I just don't know what I want as my patches. We're getting so close to the end, I can smell it. That's gross, but I can. Okay, if you have ideas for patches, put them down below, because I'm still stuck. I have picked out my snaps, but because I have cleaned in here and rearranged things so much, I don't know where my press has gone. And I was hoping to not have to like hammer all of this. See, this is why you don't clean, because when you clean, things disappear. And I have no idea where I put it. This is not a huge space. I don't know where it has gone, but hopefully I can find it in the next little while so that I don't have to hammer all of these things in by hand. It's stuff like this that reinforces why I don't clean, why I don't deep clean and rearrange and try to organize my life, because I knew exactly where it was and now I don't. I'm going to get the snaps put on to the jacket and onto the other side. I have made no decisions about the pockets or the patches. I have no idea what to do for any of that. I may go have some lunch and try to figure it out. The snaps will at least help. Pretty sure I fell and hurt myself, but at least I look good doing it. It is done for now. I still cannot land on any sort of patches to put on it, so if you have recommendations for maybe some things I could put on here, then drop them down below, because I'm stuck. Overall, this was pretty easy. This is one of those examples of, use a simpler pattern and then learn 1 or 2 more complicated techniques to go with it. Like, in general, the pattern itself is not overly difficult, but what made this kind of take a little while longer are things like the cuffs and figuring out how to do this thing. That took me longer than some of the just sewing parts of it. But overall, it is a pretty simple pattern. And not only does it make a Letterman jacket, but maybe I can also make a raglan t-shirt out of it with, the dual tone uniqueness to it. I like it. I like it a lot. It needs some pizzazz, but you guys are real creative, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say about it. I want to give a special shout out to all of my makers over on Ko-fi. You guys are the reason why I get to do a lot of this stuff, so thank you so much for all of your support. If you would like to join the Maker Squad, it is $2 a month over on Ko-fi. And everybody is welcome. Don't forget we are in month 2 of our no buy challenge. For me, this means no new clothes, no thrifting, no new decor items. I feel like I am slowly cracking. I really want to do some thrifting so bad, but we made it through January so far and we're working on February. We also make at least one charitable donation per month, and we've got mini challenges as well, and this month was try a new pattern. So how is it going for you? You can join in anytime. There is nothing special you have to do to join, just do it. Let us know how you are doing down below in the comments and support each other, because no buys are really, really hard, and I feel like the emotional need to buy right now is real high, so we can do it. We just need to support each other. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was sort of interesting, and don't forget to subscribe because I do things like this all the time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! You should see how much snow is outside. It is... Wait, you did. This snow makes me so happy. It is the coziest of cozy, and it's the perfect sewing day. It's my favorite. Very, very happy. So I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.